Tera Ferris was an Iraqi beauty queen and popular Instagram model. One day, unknown people attacked her in the center of Baghdad in broad daylight while she was driving her Porsche. 3 shots were fired, which became fatal for the girl. She was only 22 years old. Is it true that she was killed because she dared to live a Western lifestyle? Iraq is a Muslim country where traditional patriarchal views prevail. Women here are expected to be modest and to wear clothing that covers their entire body. But more and more ladies want to wear whatever they want and have equal rights with men. One of them was Tera Ferris. She was a trendy Instagram blogger and beauty queen. In 2013, she won the Miss Baghdad beauty pageant. Then she participated in the Miss Iraq competition and took second place. Her popularity grew every year, and when she passed away, she had almost 3 million followers on Instagram. She was very popular in the Middle East. Of course, there are many other social media stars in Iraq, so her case was not unique. However, Tera Ferris stood out among all the celebrities as she was very controversial. The girl had an unusual taste in clothes, behaved boldly, and sometimes made scandalous statements. She had a lot of tattoos on her body, which is hugely provocative in Iraq. She also constantly experimented with hair length and color. In some pictures, she appeared in black underwear and a nude-colored bodysuit. She wore shorts, jeans, t-shirts, and open tops in most photographs. This is everyday clothing in Western culture, but it is too risky in Iraq. Local models usually don't wear a crop or off-the-shoulder tops, but Tera did not care and wore whatever she wanted. The girl was bold not only in her dressing style but also in her statements. She was not a political activist, and her blog focused mainly on light topics such as travel, fashion, lifestyle, and gym. But sometimes she could make political statements, not because she pursued any goals, but simply because she could not do otherwise. She had so much inner freedom that she could not remain silent about what worried her. For example, when crowds of people took to Tahrir Square in the summer of 2015 and demanded better living conditions in the country, Tera spoke harshly about the death of one of the protesters. She said, "The police and army opened fire on the protesters. Why is this? This is the first time we have seen this scene, Sunni, Shia and Kurds all singing together the national anthem. Is it nice that such a young man became a martyr?" Tera also criticized corrupt politicians, but most of all she was worried about personal freedoms. Her quote is, "Oh, people, live your day to the fullest. Do what you love. Make your choices real whether people like it or not." Tera made such statements because she knew from experience what it was like to be denied rights. She was born in Baghdad as a Christian to an Iraqi Christian father and a Lebanese Shiite mother. In a television interview, she said that in 2002 her family converted to Islam. Tera grew up in difficult times. She was only 7 years old in 2003 when Baghdad fell to American and British troops. "I still remember the sound of war," Tera said in a YouTube interview months before her death. Thousands of civilians died before her eyes, and she also saw the destroyed streets of Baghdad. When Tera was only 16 years old, her parents forced her to get married. She did not love that man at all and was almost a kid at that time. This is such a cruel tradition when parents marry their teenage daughters to unloved men. Tera was very unhappy in this marriage as her husband turned out to be an actual abuser. He was aggressive and caused her a lot of pain and suffering. The girl was forced to leave this relationship and return to her parents, but she soon found out that she was pregnant. At 17, Tera Ferris gave birth to a baby. Her son Amir was 6 months old when her ex-husband came with an official armed group to take her child away. Ferris explained her ex had connections with militiamen and powerful tribal members. Scared, her family agreed to give him her son. They took my son away from me when I was a kid and could not do anything about it, especially against armed people teaming up with my ex, she said. Tera never saw her son again, and it was so painful. Her ex-husband also published intimate photographs of her on the internet. She described him as low and mean, accusing him of beating her up. Ferris said the experience taught her strength and how not to let anyone control her in anything. She knew how hard it was to live in a world where women were deprived of their rights, and she decided to live by her own rules. Tera Ferris became a public figure and was unafraid to say what she thought. She spoke out occasionally against religious, tribal, and political leaders. Not surprisingly, she had a lot of enemies. Many Iraqis criticized her lifestyle, and some wanted to deal with her. She received a lot of insults on social media. People called her a loose woman, but she got used to it and did not pay attention. Just a few weeks before her death, Tera wrote in a post on Instagram, "It does not frighten me that there are those who reject the existence of God. What really frightens me is there are those who kill and slaughter to prove the existence of God." After Tera received a lot of insults on social media, she probably understood the danger of her situation and behaved carefully. At the time of her murder, Ferris was living with her family in the city of Erbil, the capital of northern Iraq's self-ruled Kurdish region. She had moved to comparatively liberal Kurdistan, which is considered safer for Christians as a security measure. However, more recently she had reportedly spent more time in Baghdad as her career advanced. She traveled to the Iraqi capital in a private car. On September 27, 2018, Tera Ferris again went to Baghdad in her Porsche Boxster convertible. It all happened in broad daylight when the girl did not expect an attack at all. Two unknown men on a motorbike approached her car. One of them took out a pistol, ran up to Tera's car, and fired 3 times. Then the criminals got on a motorbike and fled. 3 bullets hit the girl in the head, chest, and neck. She was alive when the ambulance arrived on the scene, but she died on the way to the hospital. For all of Tera's friends and fans, her murder came as a shock. The criminals acted incredibly boldly and brazenly. They attacked in broad daylight, right under CCTV cameras. This suggests that they were not afraid to get caught on camera, or perhaps they even deliberately wanted everyone to see this murder to keep people in fear. Judging by the way the criminals acted, it was not at all random but a careful planned and well-thought-out murder. The killers did not steal anything and had no gain from the death of the innocent girl. They simply wanted to tell society that if you act and look like Tera, the same fate awaits you. Only crazy fanatics could do this, and that's the horror of this story. A close friend of Ferris told to journalists, her presence on social media is the reason why she was killed. Before her death, the young model confessed to the friend, saying, "There are a lot of enemies opposing my work. They fight against me because of my presence on social networks." Tera's friend added, "I consider the killing of Tera as a threatening message to all Iraqis. The killers want to tell us that there is nothing that can stop them. I am sorrowful for what happened." Moreover, her death was not the only one. That year, there were several murders in Iraq of women who seemed too beautiful and too bold for the patriarchal society in which they lived. Just 2 days before Tera's death, 46-year-old human rights activist Suad al-Ali was killed. She was shot dead in a market in the city of Basra by a masked gunman. A month earlier, 33-year-old plastic surgeon Rafif al-Yasseri was dead. She was called the Iraqi Barbie and helped women with medical issues. This woman was killed in her own home in Baghdad. A week later, another beauty expert and mother of 3, Rasha Al-Hassan, was murdered. She was found dead in her home under unclear circumstances. Authorities said she died of an overdose, but she never used illegal substances, so rumors arose that she could have been poisoned. 4 days after the murder of Tera Ferris, another beauty queen, Shima Qasim, who was crowned Miss Iraq in 2015, received threats. Unknown people sent her a message: "You are next Thursday." Shortly after Ferris' killing, Qasim published a tearful video on YouTube saying women in Iraq were treated worse than slaughtered chickens, and that she had been told she would meet the same fate. The girl was so afraid of the threats that for the first few days she was even scared to go out of the house. She then decided to leave Iraq and move to Jordan for her safety. The fact that all of these murders took place on Thursday led to speculation that they might be connected. Many believe they are involved in ultra-conservative groups that target women who live contrary to traditional social norms. People started saying liberal women and social media influencers were being targeted. Several other women, mostly artists and activists, also received threatening messages. Some of the messages warned, "You are next Thursday." Fear filled their hearts. Many were forced to leave the country, while others stopped their activity and disappeared from social media. Indeed, after the defeat of the terrorist organization ISIS in 2017, the country began to return to normal life and women became more visible. But some conservative groups were unhappy and wanted women out of public life. Iraq's Interior Minister Qasim al-Araji claimed that unnamed extremist group was behind the murder of Tera Ferris. He said Ferris was killed by extremist groups which are unknown to us. Efforts are being made to arrest them and expose them to the Iraqi people and get the just punishment. He also suggested the case would be cleared up quickly. In a TV interview, the minister said that accurate information had proven that a trained extremist group killed Tera. He didn't identify the group but said they had killed the aspiring Iraqi actor and model Karar Nushi in the summer of 2017. Turkish newspaper Harriet claimed that Ferris had received threats from terrorist group ISIS itself. Others have suggested that the perpetrators are members of powerful Shiite militias who are rampaging with impunity in Baghdad. Their goal is to threaten those who disregard their moral standards. 5 years have passed since then, but Tera Ferris killers have not been brought to justice. Her case, which was on the front pages in Iraq at the time, now seems largely forgotten. There were many different theories for why Tera Ferris was murdered and who might have done it. 2 young men who are close to Tera were accused of her murder, but were later released due to lack of evidence. Political activists believe that, like many other cases, this case will never be solved and the perpetrator will never be identified. This means that many women will continue to live in conditions of complete insecurity, and even if the killers are identified, they will most likely never be revealed to the public, because behind these murders lie terrible secrets. Tera Ferris was buried in the holy Shiite city of Najaf. A photo uploaded to her account after her death showed her with angel wings made of light. "Sleep well, princess, we will miss you," the caption said in English and Arabic. After that, her Instagram account was deleted forever. This is how the story of this girl ended. Tera Ferris wanted to live by her own rules, but was killed for her beauty, courage, and Western lifestyle. It's all for today. Remember that evil is near. Thank you and goodbye.